The Senate will be in order. Everyone, please be seated. Thank you. All right. We'll start off with a couple announcements from our end. Firstly, we have all right. This one is from the DEI Student Advisory Board. They wanted us to talk about this event, which is happening this Thursday, March 26th, tomorrow from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Akemi Kochiyama, granddaughter of Yuri Kochiyama, is coming to campus tomorrow, 5:30 to 8 p.m. to discuss her grandmother's solidarity work with Malcolm X and others and the ways she's continuing that legacy in her own social justice work that is grounded in cross-racial collective action. More information and a link to register can be found right up there. So if you want to go ahead and scan that QR code if you're interested, we'll leave it up for a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. We also have this, which is also from the DEI Student Advisory Board. They wanted to let you all know that the Office of the President will host another Know Your Rights webinar on April 14th at 3 p.m. The presentation, which features Susan Church, JD, Chief Operating Officer for the Office of Refugees and Immigrants for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, will provide a comprehensive review of rules regarding ICE and U.S. Customs and Border Protection enforcement beyond basic warrant requirements. Registration is required. We have a link here, so we'll send that out after the meeting attached to the Senate email thread. We also have this from the Basic Needs Director about, you have it? UMass Gives. So UMass Gives is a 2-day online giving campaign where student groups, RSOs, can raise money and compete for participation challenges worth up to $2,000 in bonus funds. The information sessions are tomorrow at 12 p.m. virtual and Monday, March 30th at 6 p.m., which is going to be in person in the Black Box Theater in the Student Union. That's downstairs behind by the art gallery. To RSVP, please email knaveen at umafoundation.org. If those times don't work, you can email her to schedule an individual session. Basic Needs Initiatives will be fundraising for the Student Care Emergency Fund to support students experiencing unexpected emergencies, and they're looking for student ambassadors. So if you're interested in that, please contact Bridget Hines, the Basic Needs Director. Her email is bridgethines@umass.edu, so it should be pretty easy to remember. That's it for us, right? All right. Does any other individual seek recognition to make an announcement? Senator Lamore, you're recognized.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me now? So some of you may know I am in the Icons program, and my group is doing a project on student opinions on nuclear energy. We're trying to see how the people who, like the future engineers, economists, politicians, etc., feel about nuclear energy to figure out potential future policy. So, and you might blow up if you scan it, but you might not. Scanning the QR code will not affect your chances of blowing up. And I would love it if you did it. Like it would mean a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that up for a little bit. If you guys could please scan that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Does any other individual seek recognition? Chair Mello, you're recognized.
Hey guys, I've gotten a lot of questions about the Arabic programs at UMass, so I'll be in the office after this meeting. I emailed and sent on GroupMe, but please join me or reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to go over anything with you, so thanks.
Does any other individual seek recognition? Chair Trong, you're recognized.
Yeah, just briefly, first off, just a reminder, if you guys are in any RSOs, make sure you tell all your friends. The budget deadline is next, I believe it's on Tuesday, March 31st, 11:59 p.m. No late submissions will be accepted for any sort of funding your RSO needs up until October 18th. So make sure you tell all your friends, because I would not like to get any emails about RSOs not knowing about a budget deadline. The second thing is currently, as you're aware, we're validating the elections. We're doing financial projections regarding the SATF ballot, and more information will be posted to Senate when we have the updated numbers.
All right, thank you. Does any other individual seek recognition? Vice Provost Farshid Hajir.
Hi everyone, nice to see you. I'm Farshid. It's not on? I tapped it. That means it's on. Now it's on. Okay. All right. By the way, yay icons. Yay. Hi, I'm Farshid Hajir, Senior Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Education. For Senate decorum here, I really appreciate being called Vice Provost Hajir, Dean Hajir. But out there in outside of the Senate decorum, please feel free to call me Farshid. And I think you met last week, Associate Vice Provost Tammy Rahal, Associate Vice Provost for Undergrad Education. The two of us are here to serve the SGA and the student body. So if you have suggestions, questions, please feel free to reach out to us, either in your Senate capacity or in your capacity as undergrad students. I have two, and I try to come to as many Senate meetings as I can and stay as long as I can. So sometimes I have to leave early, but I really appreciate being able to be here and see your processes, which are parallel to the Faculty Senate processes. And as you know, you're a co-equal branch of governance for the university. And so I wanted to make sure that you knew this is something we communicated to the speaker and the associate speaker when they came to the Student Advisory Board meeting last month, and also the one we just had the other day. But I also wanted to tell you about an exciting project, which I hope will leave the station tomorrow when the Faculty Senate takes up a motion to create a joint task force for the revisioning of the general education program. So as you know, the general education program is a huge part of your UMass Amherst education, approximately 1/3 of all of your credits. And it was created in 1985. So in the 41 years since its creation, it's had a number of revisions, minor tweaks, as well as major changes. But what we're hoping for this task force to work on is, given how many things in society have changed over just the last 10 years, even just over the last 5 years, that we hope to be able to really look at the general education program and ask ourselves, what should all students know and be able to do now, as we start the second of 4 quarters of the 21st century. And we want the program to be navigable, feasible, understandable, so that you know what is the point of the general education program, and that you can curate your courses in ways that really are meaningful to you, and also affordable. So those are the goals of the General Education Task Force. And of importance to SGA is that within the creation of the task force, there are going to be subcommittees, and we're going to be asking for SGA membership to participate on those. And this is not a short-term project. It's probably going to take 2 years to go through all the steps of revising this major change. And then it will have many years of implementation afterwards. So please think about how the SGA would like to seek volunteers to help us with that committee. Yes. Great. Then please let your leadership know. And so we'll see. First, we have to get the thing passed. All right. So we'll see how things go. But thank you, Senator Lamore. Okay. Okay. Now, this was my ancillary announcement. My main announcement is that are any seniors in the house? Any seniors? Okay. You have incredibly valuable information about UMass Amherst that we need. We need to hear from you about the quality of your experiences, which ones have been the most meaningful, how you think we could improve. And the way we do that is through the senior survey. And we want to enlist the help of SGA to promote the broad participation in the senior survey, because the information that we receive from the survey informs all kinds of decisions that the university makes. So if I know that all of you are in SGA because you want to make UMass Amherst a better place. You want UMass Amherst to be effective for each and every student. And filling out this survey is an incredibly powerful way to give information to faculty, staff, and also to students about how we can improve the university. So I hope that we'll be working with Chair Mello, who's a great partner with the Provost's office, and to try to come up with ways to promote that. So if you have RSOs with Instagram accounts who can be interested in promoting the filling out of the senior survey, that would be an amazing contribution. It's one thing for Mr. Administrator Guy to say, hey, fill out your survey. It's another thing when it's fellow students who are promoting it to each other. So thank you for giving me this time to talk about those two things. Yes.
How do results from that survey get, do they get like posted to the general campus, or is it just, administrators that see them?
Absolutely. It's totally public. It's published from the UAIR website, University Analytics and Institutional Research. So you can go and take a look at, it has many categories. And this year there's a new set of questions about student learning objectives in the major. So the departments are going to be intensely interested in your own indirect assessment of how much you've achieved the student learning objectives in the major. There are things like the rating of academic advising, career advising, the participation in internships and other Hawaiian back practices, study abroad. One of my favorite questions is, what is the one single most impactful learning opportunity that you participated in as a student? And so if you could take the time to fill out those the survey, I think that would be such a great impact that the SGA and the rest of the student body can have on helping us improve the university. Senator Wood, thank you for your question.
Thank you. Does any other individual seek recognition? Yes, in the back. If you wouldn't mind stating your name for the record before you start, please.
Hi, I'm Bart. I'm with MassPerg, and I know we in the past gave some updates about the our Hunger Lobby Day, and so yeah, we had that on March 12th, and it was really successful. We were advocating for an increase of funding to $3 million for public universities and community colleges en masse to get like funding for like food security initiatives. And so we had 103 students, advocates, and staff who met with over 50 offices and educated 100 offices. And we also had a panel of students and staff from universities across the state who spoke. about their personal experiences and the programs on their own campuses. So that's good. And then another thing is that we are hosting an open house at the campus pantry, and that's on April 1st from 4 to 6. And that's like you can get like a tour of the campus, and it's like to destigmatize the campus. And yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. Does any other individual seek recognition? All right, there's one more announcement. This is on behalf of Secretary Carroll, who couldn't be here today, but we are seeking volunteers for the multicultural prom, which is happening on April 6th from 6 to 10 p.m. So if you're free from that time range and would like to help out, here's the QR code. It'll take you to a Google form to sign up to volunteer to help. There's flexibility with the amount of time that you can be at the event for, and you can also decide what specifically you want to help with if you have a preference. All right, we'll leave that up for a little bit, but with no further announcements, the associate speaker will conduct the starting roll call.
Senator Blair. Senator Blair, present. Senator Breen. Senator Breen, present. Senator Calvo. Senator Calvo, present. Senator Chamu. Senator Chamu, absent. Senator Chaparro. Senator Chaparro, present. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi, present. Chair Dami. Chair Dami, present. Senator Dang. Senator Dang, present. Senator Faciso. Senator Faciso, present. Senator Haycock. Senator Haycock, present. Senator Adequale Espinal. Senator Adequale Espinal, absent. Chair Hood. Chair Hood, present. Senator Conan. Senator Conan, present. Senator Keel. Senator Keel, present. Senator Kennedy. Kennedy, absent. Chair Kim. Chair Kim, present. Senator Cohison. Senator Cohison, present. Senator Lamore. Senator Lamore, present. Senator Mari. Senator Mari, present. Senator Martos. Senator Martos, present. Chair Mello. Chair Mello, present. Senator Malaskino. Senator Malaskino, present. Senator Nalibo. Senator Nalibo, present. Senator Ng. Senator Ng, present. Chair Nyeka. Chair Nyeka, present. Senator Disha Patel. Senator Disha Patel, absent. Senator Rahi Patel. Senator Rahi Patel, present. Senator Reeb. Senator Rogers. Senator Rogers, present. Senator Roy. Senator Roy, absent. Senator Saini. Senator Saini, present. Senator Siegel. Senator Siegel, present. Senator Sun. Senator Sun, present. Chair Seversky. Chair Seversky, present. Senator Tacky. Senator Tacky, present. Senator Tajwani. Senator Tajwani, present. Senator Tick.
Here, I'm happy to be here.
Senator Tick, present. Senator Torngrip. Senator Torngrip, present. Chair Trong. Chair Trong, present. Senator Volotka. Senator Volotka, present. Senator Valencia Gallego. Senator Valencia Gallego, present. Senator Vender Wilson. Senator Vender Wilson, present. Senator Verma. Senator Verma, absent. Senator Wu. Senator Wu, present. Senator Golu. Senator Golu, present. With 40 voting members, a quorum is present.
Thank you. The minutes from the last Senate meeting were sent out 48 hours prior. Are there any objections to the minutes? All right, seeing no objections, the minutes stand approved. Does there exist a reason to call into session Committee of the Whole? Yes. All right, Committee of the Whole. One sec. The Senate will stand in recess and the Committee of the Whole shall be in session pursuant to Title II, Chapter 31, Section 9, subsections 1 and 5. When Committee of the Whole is called into session, parliamentary procedure is suspended and the Senate may not take any official votes or actions. All right, Chair Trong, the floor is yours.
All right, I'll keep this brief. As you guys know, the Wednesday before break at our Senate meeting, we passed some Title VI reform. A big part of that was implementing the mandatory accountability logs for anyone on payroll, with the exemptions for conduct advisors and certain undersecretaries. And so this is just what the current form looks like. And it's all centralized. So it will just go to one central spreadsheet, and that'll be linked in the officer report outs for anyone to read. So these are just the questions: the week worked, how many hours they worked, and then how many hours they're requesting. That way we can track long-term to see if people are consistently working over their hours for that position over multiple years, then we'd have the data to increase their hours, or vice versa. So, and then if you hit yes, it would just take you to the same question as before for the breakdown, but just for the weekend. Yeah, so basically it's just one form, and then it'll auto sort into, there's like tabs on here for executive, legislative, judicial, etc. And then this like overview tab, in theory, we can add more data with using formulas in Google Sheet to like check the average hours worked, etc., to do more stuff with data. But that's just a brief overview. So yeah.
Any questions, anyone? Wait. All right. Thanks. All right. Anything else for Committee of the Whole? All right. The Senate will be in order, and the Committee of the Whole previously called into session stands adjourned. The Senate will continue considering the remainder of the agenda. We have one special order submitted to the Office of the Speaker. The Senate will now consider S82, a motion to appoint Kari Brown as the Secretary of Health and Well-Being. The legislative leadership team decided to override first read for this motion, so we will vote on it today. And the sponsorship is recognized for a factual description.
Hey guys, another one of the secretaries, last one for now, and I'm going to yield all my time to Carrie, and it's because, sorry, that's on me. How embarrassing. But her application was the strongest in the pool we got. I don't have the exact number for how many applications we got because I know that was a subject of interest last time, though I'm going to say it was definitely less than 10. But all of her materials, including her application, resume, and letter of recommendation, which wasn't even required, but she did it anyway, that is in the supplemental materials folder attached to the Senate agenda, and I will yield all further questions to her.
Are there any questions for the sponsorship? Chair Trong?
So as the prospective Secretary of Health and Wellbeing, a lot of these projects are potentially a multi-year project. And so my question is, how do you plan on setting up these projects so that there's continuity for future Secretaries of Health and Wellbeing?
I think that given my term is going to be pretty short, at least this one, I have two goals that I want to, two initiatives that I really want to work toward, and I understand that I might not be able to complete them in the time I have allotted, but I do want to have like a very strong paper trail and and abilities that transferring this role to possibly another individual would be very easy for them to follow the work I'd been doing. And then a lot of my work I do want to allot to making like a plan for the future Secretaries of Health and Wellbeing, especially the one that would take over for next year if it's not me, and having that be like very clear outline of steps to follow. I think that that will be most of the time. I do want to use my full 12 and a half hours a week to do that. If I can't be in contact with UHS or CCPH directly, that would be where most of my time would be spent given the amount of time I have during this term.
Thank you. Any more questions? Senator Tick?
Hi. So as a candidate for this position, what would you be looking forward to most about what the role has to offer as like a job-wise? I don't know. Like what about this role, like, are you interested in, I suppose?
Sure. So I am a double major in public policy and economics, and I do consider myself pre-gov on that track, sort of, if that is, you could call it a track. I want to work in the local to state legislation level for accessibility to mental health and rehabilitative resources, like within an allotted region or state. So when I heard about this role and hearing the work it does with CCPH, that was definitely something I'm looking forward to the most, and working with them and understanding how it works in the university and the resources it offers. One of the initiatives that was most prominent on my application was mandated Narcan education for the residential services. So that is something that will translate to the work I will one day hope to do outside of my collegiate career, but like being in the SGA and doing that and working towards that, that would probably be what I'm most looking forward to.
Chair Kim, you're recognized.
Sorry about that. This isn't like a disqualifying thing or anything. Do you have any experience working with or like working alongside AVS on campus? Okay.
Are there any further questions? Chair Dami?
This isn't a question, but I just wanted to say that Kari was not discriminated against in any way during the hiring process. AA went through that, and we kind of just, she wasn't discriminated against. She signed it and everything. So yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. Are there any further questions? Senator Breen?
Can you share like a little bit? You said you wanted to like do like Narcan stuff. Like, can you share like more on like what you plan to do surrounding that?
Sure. So I understand that there are Narcan kits dispersed around campus, but I also understand that people who work for the RSD, RAs, do not have training on how to use them. They are pretty self-explanatory. I did do a lot of volunteer work through high school working with an organization called LEAD, which is Law Enforcement Against Drugs. And I did Narcan education in high schools. And I was an administrator with that group. So there is like a curriculum, but it's very short. And my plan would just be to work with UHS and RSD to try and just implement something into training. It would be very brief on how to administer something in the case of an emergency. I do not think it needs to be something like extensive. It's a really simple technology, which is incredible. But I think that just that initiative specifically, as brief as it can be, but to minimize harm as most as possible.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? All right. Is there a second for the special order? Second. Does there exist a need for debate? With no indication of a need for debate, the question is called, and the question is on the passage of S82, a motion to appoint Kari Brown as the Secretary of Health and Well-Being. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is passed. Congratulations. The secretary will now be sworn in. One sec. Okay, whatever. I think I remember it. Repeat after me, please. I do swear.
I do swear
To execute the office of Executive Cabinet Member.
to execute the office of Executive Cabinet Member
And uphold the Constitution.
and uphold the Constitution
And general bylaws.
and general bylaws
Of the Student Government Association.
of the Student Government Association.
Congratulations. All right, that concludes special orders, and there was no unfinished business from the last meeting. We will now move on to new business. We have S83, a motion to ratify the spring 2026 general election. This is sponsored by the Elections Commission, and I'll invite up the elections chancellor, Chancellor Heredia, to give the factual description.
Everybody, if you don't know me already, my name is. Wait, is this working? Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect. All right. If you don't know me already, my name is Gabriel Heredia. I am the elections chancellor for this semester, and I'm honored on behalf of the Elections Commission to present the report for the 2026 election. So, yeah, let's pull it up here. And I will basically go over just a brief summary of it, of course, because you probably all read it, so I don't want to read it to you again. But once that is concluded, I will do a Q&A if anyone has any questions about this report, which I will invite the SGA Attorney General to help me with regarding any bylaw-related questions. But other than that, this should be brief. So thank you guys for having me. So in this election, we had a turnout of 6.87% for the president, vice president, and Senate elections. We had a turnout of 5.85 for the university student trustee elections. And we had a turnout of 6.87 for referendum questions. Thereby, pursuant to the bylaws, this election is valid. For the president and vice president, we had 1,639 votes cast. Our winner was Michael Borowski and James Carroll with 90.07% of the vote. For university student trustee votes cast, it was 1,656, with Ashley Chamucharko being our winner for university trustee with 52% of the vote. And for the University Senate, class of 2029, these are the winners we have here. Of course, these are all the ones we have. And anyone who was not approved as a candidate was invalidated in pursuit of the bylaws. For class 2028, these are the projected winners. The winners are in bold, of course, and our writing candidates as well are listed. For class 2027, these are the candidates we had and the winners, of course. And now we can move down to referendum questions. Our first referendum question was a student activities fee increase, which had 1,639 voters. This was related to increasing the fee from $44 a semester to $36 a semester to $25 a semester. And the results are listed on the table below. For $44 per semester, it was 40.75% of the vote. For $35 per semester, it was 28.61. For $25 per semester, it is 16.93. And the vote not to raise the SATF was 13.69. The second referendum question was student voices and investments with 1,639 voters. And we had 94.76% of populace, or the voters, sorry, in favor, with 5.23 against. The final referendum question was a little vague, and I apologize for that. That was the e-mobility devices with 1,640 voters. And it was basically considering how to deal with e-scooters and e-bikes, to what I believe. And this was ranked in terms of preferences. So there were 5 tables according to each and how it was voted. In preference 1, the winner was ban e-mobility devices, excluding accessibility-related devices on campus with 31.8%. In preference 2, it was, of course, the top one was create dismount zones in areas of high pedestrian use. That was 31.97%. Preference 3 was create a campus-wide speed limit for e-mobility devices with 28.4%. Preference 4 was bring in an e-scooter rental vendor with geofence no ride zones at 31.79% of the votes. Finally, preference 5 was having no change to the current situation, 37.42 as the top result. And these are also the additional questions that were asked on Campus Pulse, such as since the beginning of the fall semester, have you ever had a near miss collision with e-mobility device? Yes was 64.17%. No was 33.4%. Those poor souls. And the second question was, since the beginning of the fall semester, have you ever been hit by an e-mobility device, such as an e-scooter? And no was 88.19%. Yes was 9.37%. And prefer not disclose was 2.43%. We had 2 formal complaints issued in this election. The first complaint was acted upon, and the whole results of that are in a summary listed below, so you could read through that. The second complaint was, of course, tabled because we already took action by that time, so it would have had no effect. These are the only complaints received by Elections Commission, as all others were informal, therefore they cannot be acted upon, and these are the results of the election. And if you scroll to the very bottom below the summary, you will see that the signatures are there of all of myself, as long as all the elections commissioners who certified the results to be true and valid. And that is a report for 2026. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions? Chair Trong, you're recognized.
To my knowledge, I believe there was some confusion on the ballot regarding the e-mobility question. And so I guess my question, I don't know if you'd be able to answer this, is how sure are we of these like preferences if like people potentially messed up the 1 to 5?
Yeah, that's a good question. I could yield that to Morgan, who did actually write that question.
Hi. So, like me with Tony Pig from the Faculty Senate and Saul, we were trying to get this onto the ballot. Because of my oversight with how Campus Pulse One was going to work, I thought that this was going to be a slightly different ranked choice system where you could actually drag the boxes one by one, but it showed up differently on Campus Pulse. So some people interpreted this as number 5 is their most favorite choice and 1 is their least. Others did the opposite. So my informal opinion as of right now is that the results are basically annulled because we can't really verify whether or not most people thought one way or the other. We had a post go out on the SGA Instagram saying that the way that we evaluated it is that 1 is the most preferred and 5 is the least preferred, but I don't think that that got to a lot of the student body and especially the people who voted. So yeah, I'm also gonna bring this to the Faculty Senate tomorrow at their monthly meeting. But yeah, the other results for the near hit collisions and the collision events, to my knowledge, those are still valid. But I'm really sorry to everyone who, well, maybe not Will, because I think Will is pretty happy with this. But I'm sorry that I goofed up there, and that's totally my fault. So if this goes up next year, we'll have a more clear option now that I know what Campus Pulse is going to look like, and we can, see where the university takes that info from there.
Does that answer your question? Hopefully it does. Thank you.
All good. Well, at least we know everyone's third choice. Any further questions? All right.
That's ready to go to port.
Is there a second for the motion? Does there exist a need for debate on S83? With no indication of a need for debate, passage is called. All those in favor of passing S83, a motion to ratify the spring 2026 general election, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is passed.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Gabe. All right. Are there any other motions on the floor? Chair Trong?
Motion to overrule the decision of the Associate Speaker to resign Senator Meesom of the Ways and Means Committee by non-action.
All right. The motion is in order. Yeah, sponsorship is recognized for a factual description.
I'm going to yield to Associate Speaker Germain.
Okay, so yeah, just to clarify, if you want to look at Title 2, Chapter 7, Sections 8 and 10. So Section 10 is, you know what? I can try to pull it up on this. Sorry, give me 1 second. But yeah. So if any senator misses 3 Senate meetings without excuses, they are automatically resigned by non-action. I don't have discretion in that at all. That's just how the bylaws are. But Section 8 provides an avenue for senators to appeal that decision. And so Meesom is going to appeal this decision because he has excuses that he would like to submit to the Senate for consideration. Because it was after the 7 days, the bylaws only give 7 days to submit it to me. It's been after 7 days, so I can't do anything, but the Senate has the power to erase or strike one of the absences from the record. There is no criteria necessarily for the Senate to consider. There's just criteria for me to consider. So Senator Meesom's going to come up and present his case for the Senate to decide whether or not the Senate wants to strike one of his absences from the record. Does anyone have any questions about the process? Okay.
If you want.
All right. Hey everyone. Senator Meesum. Hi guys. So the main reason why I have this amount of absences is I have an overlap on my schedule, which is why almost majority of the Senate meetings I pull up dressed like this, which I promise I don't walk around campus looking like this. It's just a time overlap. I have to take time out of my lab class to be here, and I would love to be here. I've been working with the Ways and Means Committee, and it's been a very nice experience. I don't want that to be taken away from me. I promise it won't happen again. Another reason was the entirety of last month I was fasting for Ramadan. And so when I come back from lab, I sit through the Senate. I was physically incapable of sitting towards the end, which is why I think if you miss the last roll call, that's half an absence. So that is the main reason why I've been missing all of this. But hopefully going forward, it doesn't happen. So I hope you guys can consider that. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I guess a point of clarification, Senator Meesum has been to the vast majority of our meetings. He's engaged, he shows up and he does all the committee assignments that has been delegated to him. So.
Any questions? All right, then I guess it's up to a vote by majority vote. As it's highlighted up there, the Senate can decide to strike one absence. So all in favor of striking one absence from Senator Meesum and reinstating him to the Senate, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. Welcome back. Any other motions on the floor? All right, seeing none, we will move on to officer reports. Universities. University Student Trustee Marino is recognized. All right, President Borowski is recognized.
Guys, I'll keep this nice and quick. The one thing I didn't mention in my report out that I think it's very important is that today I briefed the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs and Campus Life on some of the big reforms that we've been making to our internal processes. And that entire department is very, very, very pleasantly pleased with what's going on. And an anecdote that was shared with me that I think is very pursuant to actually what we were talking about today is that for things relating to mobility devices, there are currently boards in university administration that are attempting to address the issue and talk it through, and they would love some student consultation. So regardless of the ballot outcome, if you are very much interested in mobility issues on campus and mobility devices, please reach out to me ASAP and I will get you where you need to go. That's all I got. Have a great night.
Vice President Olivo? All right. I submitted my report out in the packet. I don't have too much else to add. I only just got back from vacation today, so back to work. I do have one thing to remind you guys about. The speaker election will be happening on April 8th, which is only 2 meetings away. So again, if you are interested in running for speaker or associate speaker, please come talk to me and Cody so that we can fill you in on what you're getting yourself into. That's all from me, though.
Yeah, my report also in the packet. The only thing I was going to say was the speaker election, which you already covered. So yeah, if you have any questions about either roles, please come speak to us. Even if you're, sort of like, maybe, maybe not, just come talk to us. I'd be happy to provide any information that I can. So thank you.
The Chief Justice may be recognized if present. All right. RHA, President. No. Are there any RSO Council presidents present? Any agency representatives present? All right, then we'll move on. Does any cabinet secretary wish to make a verbal report out? All right, cool, then we'll move on. Are there any faculty Senate representatives present? Senator Belair, you're recognized.
So hi everyone. So I have 2 reports from the Health Council meetings I attended. I know there is 2, but I will keep it short and straightforward. On January 30th, the Health Council held its first meeting. The council reviewed the agenda, which includes like a debrief of the vaccination and vaccine hesitancy webinar, the council also discussed potential event for the spring semester. During the event, like a council member pointed out the urgent issue of men suicide rates and emphasized like the importance of providing support in this area. There were different views on this topic. While some felt the university has done an excellent job promoting wellness and acknowledge that there's still a need for space specifically focused on mental health, including for students, faculties, and staff. As they wrap up the meeting, they agreed to continue this conversation in our next meeting. So on February 27th, the Health Council had presentation from Chief Tyree from UMPD. He went over Massachusetts law on his scooters because a lot of people are aware of the rules. Some example, they cannot be driven on sidewalks or backways. They must stay on the right side of the road and all time, etc. Okay. They don't have really an exact data on accident because most campus report are about like the speed in yeah, I think that's all for questions. I'll try to answer. If I don't really have an answer, I will try to do some research and get back to you.
Are there any questions? All right, perfect. Thank you, Senator Blair. Any other faculty senate representatives? All right. Any ESO event representatives? Any SAB representatives? Chair Trong, you're recognized.
Briefly, Administration and Finance SAB is meeting Friday. Unfortunately, only appointed members on the SAB can attend. However, I will report back either next Wednesday or the week after with results from that meeting regarding sources of UMass funding.
All right, thank you. Chair Kim, you're recognized.
Quickly, who here was in the UR meeting today? Thank you. Okay. We also had Secretary Belisova come in. So in UR, we talked about a few things first, and also for the pitch, and also we talked about Bright Act. So the associate, sorry, I'm forgetting her name right now, but we talked about Bright Act allocations and what that means for UMass Amherst, potentially how much money UMass will be getting once the State House and the State Senate agree on how much money will be going to infrastructure projects. So that's stuff like, again, updating our campus to make sure that our buildings are in better shape. That's also making sure that we're getting more clean energy. We're moving towards carbon zero initiatives, stuff like that. There was also a lot. Do you want to? You take this. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, just to echo Morgan. So for the Bright Act, like it's like 2.5 billion, which is earmarked for UMass and other state schools, and we have like 1.25 billion authorized specifically for UMass, which is really great because it's like, I don't know, we can use it for like different maintenance, classrooms, labs, and anything else. It's now in conference committee just because there's a couple of differences between the House and the Senate version, so they're just figuring that out. And then there's the Drive initiative, which is it's like so also supported by Governor Healy. It's more so like focused on research, innovation, like trying to make up for those like federal research cuts. It's also kind of in the process of being passed, right? So it's like 400 million to support like multi-year research projects, keep jobs in the research sector because there's more than like 1 million in those, and then other things. So that would also set up like an advisory commission to guide research and discovery in the state, which is super important. And both pieces of legislation still have a few steps before becoming law, but once they're signed, they're pretty important for campus. So,
Any questions? All right, thank you guys. Any other SAB representatives? Yes, Senator Amari, you're recognized. Can we pass a microphone down there, please? Thank you.
I attended the IT SAB today, and we talked about the top hat replacing iClicker and Quickly from the summer session, and they gave us like a tutorial for this and took our reviews for that, and yeah, that's it.
Any questions about ITSAB? Perfect. Thank you. Chair Mello, SAB. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I met where academic affairs met this week. Cody was there with me, but we discussed a lot of things, including Arabic program, and HFA and SBS language requirements. So I know there's people here who are passionate about language requirements in majors. If that's something you're interested in, please talk to me. That's it. Anything else to add, Cody? Okay, great.
Thank you. Any other SAB representatives? All right, then we'll move on. Does any Senate committee chair wish to make a verbal report? Chair Kim, you're recognized.
This is very brief. My report's in the file already. I want to talk about two quick opportunities, also talking about state financial aid programs and investment in our college campuses that we enjoy in this state. So on March 31st, there's going to be transportation from Springfield to go to the State House. There's also a way to submit written testimony. This will be going directly to state legislators to talk about just, again, increasing state financial aid that goes directly back to like thousands of in-state students. That includes UMass students. So if you're receiving any form of state financial aid, then increasing this line item in the state budget for the next fiscal year will directly help students in our amazing state. Then one day before, on March 30th, there's going to be a tax cut hearing. There are currently two active ballot initiatives in the state that would cut taxes and, in my opinion, lose the state billions of dollars that they need for healthcare, food assistance, and basic services. This would be, again, like based on my understanding, getting rid of a lot of the benefits and progress that we made with the Fair Share Amendment, which, if you're not familiar with it already, it imposes a higher tax and uses those earnings to support education and infrastructure, which includes things like the BRIGHT Act. So if you're interested in like supporting this and talking about not having these tax cuts occur, there's another way to, again, contact state legislators who are very interested in how students who are directly affected by stuff like this feel, and just contact me if you're interested in giving any testimony, written or in person. Again, there's going to be transportation for the March 31st hearing.
All right. Any questions? Senator Wu? Yeah, sure.
Hello. Okay, yeah. I will stress that like if you can only just submit a written testimony, that is like the absolute minimum that I would ask out of people. Like it is very important that we show up as student representatives of the student body to tell them like, hey, we have a lot of issues when it comes to financial aid. There are people who are dropping out because they cannot afford to go to a public university. So at the very least, I would want you to submit a paragraph, however much time you have to write a written testimony. This is really important to not only like, the students here, but like I also assume like yourselves who also have people who depend on financial aid. That's for the March 31st hearing. And for March 30th, like I also want to stress like this is the same thing that they want to do at the federal level when it comes to cutting a bunch of grants and money for programs that have to do with DEI, like the same millionaires who like they're interested in doing the same thing in Massachusetts. If that is something you feel very, very strongly about, please go on the State House website and look for the hearings, see if they're going to post testimonies or any like hearings that you can like attend. Again, like it is important for us to be politically engaged, and that goes beyond just doing and keeping up with the news. It means writing a testimony. It means showing up for people.
Thank you. Any other chair reports? All right. JD, anything? All right. Are there any other motions on the floor except a motion to adjourn? Oh, yeah, sure. Vice President Nalivo is recognized for a report.
Okay, hi everyone. I hope you had a great break. Sorry I wasn't in. I was downstairs doing some event coordination for Multicultural Night. We really need more people on the team to help with like the actual day of Multicultural Night. And if you can't help with the day of Multicultural Night, I'd really appreciate it if you signed up to do outreach, which just means like putting posters up in your residence hall or like putting them in the dining halls and different like the bulletin boards that you pass by on the way to class. Most of the stuff that I've been doing this week, really midterm heavy week, so mostly Multicultural Night, and a few things, just catching up with some SAB stuff. Okay, any questions? Great, thanks.
We're pulling back up the volunteer form for Multicultural Night. Are there any motions on the floor except the motion to adjourn? All right. One sec. Okay. There being no more motions, the associate speaker will record the ending roll call.
Senator Blair. Senator Blair present. Senator Breen. Senator Breen present. Senator Calvo. Senator Calvo present. Senator Chamo. Senator Chamo present. Senator Chaparro. Senator Chaparro present. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi present. Chair Dami. Chair Dami present. Senator Dang. Senator Dang present. Senator Faciso. Senator Faciso present. Senator Haycock. Haycock present. Senator Ekerle-Spinell. Ekerle-Spinell present. Senator Chair Hood. Chair Hood present. Senator Connon. Senator Connon present. Senator Keel. Senator Keel present. Senator Kennedy. Senator Kennedy absent. Chair Kim. Chair Kim present. Senator Cohison. Senator Cohison present. Senator Lamore. Senator Lamore present. Senator Mari. Senator Mari present. Senator Martos. Senator Martos present. Chair Mello. Chair Mello present. Senator Morales-Aquino. Senator Morales-Aquino here. Senator Nalivo. Senator Nalivo present. Senator Ng. Senator Ng present. Chair Onyeka. Chair Onyeka present. Senator Dish Patel. Senator Dish Patel absent. Senator Rahi Patel. Senator Rahi Patel present. Senator.
Quiet, please, just for a sec.
Senator Rogers. Senator Rogers present. Senator Roy. Senator Roy absent. Senator Saini. Senator Saini present. Senator Siegel. Senator Siegel present. Senator Sun. Senator Sun present. Chair Seversky. Chair Seversky present. Senator Tacky. Senator Tacky present. Senator Tashwani. Senator Tashwani present. Senator Tick. Senator Tick present. Senator Torngrip. Senator Torngrip present. Chair Trong. Chair Trong present. Senator Volotka. Senator Volotka present. Senator Valencia Gagel. Senator Valencia Gagel present. Senator Vender Wilson. Senator Vender Wilson present. Senator Verma. Senator Verma absent. Senator Wu. Senator Wu present. Senator Golu. Senator Golu present.
Are there any motions on the floor? Is there a second? All right, motion to adjourn has been called and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it and the meeting is adjourned. Too late, I already hit the gavel. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys, welcome back.